Fellow Toastmasters and guests, motivational strategies and changing trends. Under this podcast series, this is next episode. Delivering a speech with purpose. We know what is the best way to express arts, correct? If you see any performing arts like a dance or music, how much information or how much expression it provides to the audience with very less input. If you read a Shakespearean paragraph, it will deliver a tons of emotions and expressions. Same way with the poems. Today we are going to express ourselves with a speech. In the speech, we will subcategorize our vocalization, body language, and connecting with the audience. Since this is a speech and not art, so what are the various types of speeches? Storytelling or telling some experience of ourselves. There is one more, which is called preaching. So we will try that. Let's start. Time. Whether it's a concept or reality, I'm not going into that. Let's say more than 5 billion years ago, there was a vast molecular cloud which starts condensing and it formed a medium-sized star. The star got ejected and started circling in its host galaxy. It brought along with him a tons of trillions of small objects. There was one rock which was just getting formed, extremely hot, and it was third from that star. There are stories, there's some other object called Theia came and hit it, whatever it is, but after that, that object starts condensing and it was in its orbit. It started getting water, environment, oxygen. We know all that good stuff. What was special? It was developing some organism, like automated organism we want to call in modern language. That means life, in other words. Because it was self-sustaining, it was self-producing. I'm going to segregate two parts. Before the meteorite hits, like terminal event, and after that. We know before the asteroid hit, there was life and it was called dinosaurs mainly. And we know they were so big and various sizes. After that, what happened? Mammals, the mammals came and they are running the planets now. Are we saying the mammals are most advanced as of now? Why we say that? Because if you think the dinosaurs were big in size, whatever the fossil fuels we see, fossil records we see, the dinosaurs were so huge. I don't know what kind of climate structure was at that time that made the huge size. But today, if you see, the maximum size is probably the land mammal is the elephant, and then ocean is the blue whale. And dinosaurs were so bigger than that. So why today we are advanced? Answer is simple. we have brain. Because if you see the dinosaurian era, the brain probably was used only as a coordinating of the body functions. And all the organs, they were the main ones. They were producing the food and protection and everything else. In the mammal area, everybody has brain. Not only humans, if you know, animals has brain. And they do more than the basic instinct. It has been proven that the brain functions like advanced brain functions like looking something beyond what is existing, like dreams or some other thing, that animals also has it, because that's our shows our advanced capacity of brain, because brain try to think something. It doesn't just regulate the body function. So great. And look at that possibility of doing everything happening. Like brain is just like a maximum size is brain is humans, and it is like probably few pounds, less than 10 pounds, but it is complex than the entire solar system, or probably like a galaxy. Who created all these things? How did this happen? Earth, to be existing, it has a trillionth of possibilities, because the asteroids are coming, then Jupiter needs to be there, and then it has to be at the some distance from the sun, then it has to get that climate, and so many other possibilities, then life exists. Who created all these things? How did this all got created? I think dinosaur did not thought about this. We are thinking because we have brain. So what's the answer? Answer is always two. Even from prehistoric times. The one who God created us, that's our creator. He created us. And the ones who said no, those are the anti ones. Those are present from there, that time as well, not today. Who said the God is our creator, those were pro. And others were termed as a devil because they were anti-gods, they were not following it. Today we are not telling them, today we call them scientists because they are asking us, who proved it? Prove it. Where is the God? How is the God? Where is the God? What's the existence? I am a true Saganian, a Sagan follower. I mean, what I'm going to say. I have read his books previously, not entire books, some excerpts. But if you followed the news, like very recently, even NASA head, he took his oath on Sagan book. So that proved it. So what Sagan said? You did not disprove God. There are two ways to prove the theorem. There is a direct proof. You have to give a direct proof. Okay, this is this, and theorem is proved. Or there is an anti-theorem. What he says, you did not disprove this, that's why this is proved. Right? I am trying to imagine. Suppose there is a civilization or humans are there other than Earth. Then how things will be? Like, let's say they are on Mars or some satellites of the Jupiter. Because when we say God, or those who follow God, they say they always look up. We know that Earth or any object is not up or down. There is no up and down in the universe. And we have everything which should be in some kind of plane, that whatever you see that will be up. So we always see up. Every civilization, everybody, they will look God up, because they will say that's the heaven, that's where the God is. So let's imagine there is a civilization or something exists on Mars or somewhere, and they are also looking up. So I imagine there probably a little child will say, Mama, I saw the heaven in the sky, look. Mama will say, what? Where it is? The child will say, look there, so blue. If you ask astronomers, astronauts, I mean, what's the beautiful object? Because they are like above few thousand miles above the earth, because they may be seeing better universe than us. What's the best or beautiful object? They look down. So there are different things are there. So we have to define God in some way, because even you follow it or not, we see different things. Then if you follow God means what, you follow textures or not, there are different things are there. We have to define God some way. You will say, OMG. What are you talking about? How you will define it? OMG, what it stands. It's not avatar or anything. OMG, I'm not talking about any avatar or emoji of that. What is OMG? Oh my God. Correct? I want to say different thing. OMG means, oh my goodness. Do you see that people say that? I mean, they say everything. Even anti-God, they will say OMG when things, some crisis comes or when they face something. I'll tell you what are those moments. Like we call them OMG moments only. They will call God only, no matter what. But there are different expressions in different languages. So some will say, oh my God, or some will say, oh my goodness. That means God is goodness. How you define it? Is that the simplest definition we are trying to say? Because we are not philosopher. I mean, I'm not going into there. What is the simplest definition of God other than creator? Because when you say God is the creator, then the scientist community come and they will start telling you how it created or all kind of things. So we want to say goodness. God means goodness. When you define this way, that will define the devil as well. That is not goodness. And that will define across the culture, across the languages, or everywhere. Because that will show you, that will prove your stories wherever you see from. Because God prevails on the devil, that will be story of every religion or everywhere you will see that. That means goodness prevails over not goodness. We must know from anywhere we see. We come from God, we go to God. That's what everybody say, or even those scientists or whoever wants to say in whichever way. But when we come from God, there is a stop in between. That's the earth, and then we go to God. We must remember, we owe to the earth. We owe to the 5 elements of the earth. We must do goodness to them. We must do goodness to the environment, the water, the surrounding, our all fellow creatures, I would say. Isn't it? When we owe to God, we owe to the earth, and then we go to God. Because when we go to God, what we will ask? Where is the existence of God? They ask, show me the existence of God. The scientist community asked. I want to tell with one story. Here is the story that proves the existence. Let's see if it proves. The story goes like this. Let's imagine that one soul probably goes to God and then heaven or whatever it is. The angel welcomes him, and then he was going. I mean, he entered. The heaven was very, very tech savvy, I want to say. The angel was able to see they had a tablet, monitors, everything, I would say. The man came in, and then angel said, wow, looks like you are a good man. So I would try to show you your life when you were on earth. So he gave him a tablet. The man was able to see his entire life in the form of like a workflow, or it was slideshow. He saw like since he born, and then what happened, then He saw all the joyous moment, all the precious moment, all the perilous moment, or whatever you call it. Everywhere he saw it, he saw his life in that tablet. He felt fascinated. So when he was following that, he saw that his footprints, I mean, how he was walking in that path, and then he was seeing his life events. When he was watching, he saw not only one footprint, he saw two footprints. The man got confused. He asked Angel, "You told me this is my life, but I see two footprints. Why?" Angel looked at his monitor and he said, "Oh, well, so the other footprint means the God was God. Those are God. One is you and other is God." Man felt so good because Angel told him that he did good thing. That's why God's footprint was with him. He kept looking, but suddenly he stopped at some point. He saw all a joyous moment and a precious moment, everything, two footprints. But some pictures, there was only one footprint, and those were the most tumultuous events of his life. Why there is only one footprint? Man felt too bad. So even God left me when it was tumultuous moments. He went to the angel again and asked his question. Angel was busy man, but he said, "Okay, let me answer you." He again looked at his tablets and checked his logs and he said, "Well, what's your question?" Man said, "When there was a tumultuous moment, perilous moments in my life, I see even God was not with me. I see only one footprint. Look at this." Angel understood the question. He again checked his monitor and logs and he said, "Guy, wait, child, there are one footprints, but they are not yours. That is God's. God was carrying you at that time. That's why there was only one footprint." Story finished. Do you understand? This is the existence of God. Ask all those anti-gods or scientists or whatever you want to call them. Did that happen with their life? Did they feel that existence? That's how we prove the God. God is goodness. And everybody must do that in their life. Thank you.